Nothing but the fading light.
Welcome, one and all. We are, of course, getting more playoff action on your screens for this evening. Myself, Scriv, and Neokai to walk you through all of these games. It is going to be another banger, I think. We've actually got a great game on the docket, I have to be honest with you. We've come off of a long one over in Asia, so maybe if you're joining us from there, how you doing? But if not, just note that we might be a little crazy, a little wacky. Also, I would imagine appreciative for the cleaner Counter-Strike at the very least. But yeah, very much looking forward to getting into it.
We've had some quite scrappy CS over in Asia. It's been a little rough around the edges, is how we're going to put it. That's to put it kindly. We had a marathon of a game. It was like a 4-hour series in total, and maybe should have been closed out in 2. But in the benefit of hindsight, we now get underway in towards EU. It's good to be here. It's good to be back. We've got some pretty sick games. I think we have a little bit of a schedule to bring you to show you all the games across all of the streams for today. There is actually 3 simultaneous
Hell
games
yeah.
going on. Team Spirit are going to be taking on Sinners. That's over on the A stream. 3D Max taking on Apeks here on the B stream, and over on the C stream is 9 taking on Eyeballers. One really interesting point is that Team Spirit just beat Furia 2-0, and Donk went 1.48, I'm pretty sure, on LAN over in Dubai? Yes, Dubai for BetBoom. Yeah. So, you know, question marks about the ping is probably the first thing, but overall, Telly Spirit are looking pretty good.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Sometimes, you know, we do get the sort of MENA teams in some of our qualifiers and whatnot over in Europe. So I think it maybe depends. Maybe more emphasis on the North Africa part in that sense rather than the Middle East part. You know, it's difficult. We'll see how it goes. But I don't think it'll be awful. However, it could make a difference on that game, so keep your eyes on that one. I do feel like we've got the banger matchup, though.
I agree.
You know, Spirit are looking really good. Donk is fabulous to watch, and we've obviously got these hilarious interviews that he's doing. You know, this 16-year-old kid absolutely giving it in these interviews is great to see.
Gotta respect him.
Yeah, I like it. I hope we get that, you know, for the foreseeable future. We'll see what happens when he maybe or has a rough game or whatever. But for now, it's fun. But in terms of the actual matchup, in terms of how close it should be, I think this one is going to be fantastic. 3D Max against Apeks.
Yeah, exactly that. Let's take a look at the bracket overall to see where we stand in the grand scheme of things. Of course, we are still within that upper bracket. It's 3D Max and Apeks. It is a bit of a spicy game. Winner of this takes on the winner of Team Spirit and Sinners in that upper bracket final, which I'm right in saying is tomorrow. So a very old, spicy fair. Loser will then drop in towards that lower game. They'll take on, if I'm right in saying, the winner of Team Space and Fours. A bit of CIS derby over there. Of course, we got to catch a bit of Fours yesterday against Movistar. That was also a pretty rough game, all things considered, considering as well that Movistar were playing with Blade, the coach, because, of course, Martineza has joined 9Z, which wasn't yesterday, but now, as of today, actually is official. But yeah, so it's a pretty tough run. Win or lose, you haven't really got an easy game. You'd probably expect that Fours are the favorites in that game versus Team Space. Over here, this one's quite tough to call, but winner has to probably face what is most likely going to be Team Spirit, because they've just been looking really good within ESL Challenger League so far. So it's not an easy run, but at least you get a second chance up here.
Yeah, I suppose so. That is very true. Like you say, it's been an interesting kind of format. We'll see whether it sticks around. It feels like, you know, ESL in particular use Challenger League to kind of test out some formats, see what works, you know, for the bigger teams and make it a bit interesting every season, bit of a change, that kind of thing. But it has resulted in some pretty good matchups as the upper bracket gets on. Let's have a look at our particular matchup as well. We obviously teased it slightly earlier with the 3D Max, previously looking for Org. And they were looking for Org for so long. I'm so happy that this team has got an organization behind them. It also was really confusing because the logo they were using was an L4O, but then it's looking for Org. So it's like, you know, looking for Org, but like, I don't know, it just felt a bit weird. It messed with my head looking at that logo sometimes, you know what I mean? So 3D Max, they're in, French Org, French team. It works, beautiful stuff. And of course, I believe Maka and Hadji have actually played under this banner before, so really, really cool to see them back. On the other side of things, we've got Apeks, really having a rough time towards the top end of things, right? I think that's sort of safe to say. But when it comes down to a tournament like this, they should be one of the favorites to be taking it, in all honesty. I think it will be a bit of an interesting one. Yeah, obviously a tough loss for them. They've got to fly home from Espoo. After the loss against Furia there, and they have to just sort of roll with the punches. 3D Max will be looking to capitalize.
Got to be said, though, for them to even be in that grand final, I think takes a lot of credit. I think,
true.
For me, the big thing is, and I'll happily stand here and say, I was not a fan of the Apeks changes. I think Stiko's roles are very difficult to fill, and I think Sense, honestly, had such a tough time coming into it, not basically because of his own fault. I think actually Sense is a pretty decent player from what we've seen recently, so to say, but that kind of at the start, trying to fill Stiko's roles is so damn hard. And of course, they went through a coach change, a Cuban dropping out, and Mytha taking the role. They went through some turbulation. So I think they found themselves back into a strong place. I think we have the veto to bring you, and then we can get back to all of the conversations themselves to be had. Here's where we're running through. We're going to kick off things over towards Inferno, picked by Apeks. They have looked incredible on Inferno recently. I've got to give them their credit. I've got to give them their props. They have been putting up some serious numbers on this map. It's looked really clean from them. Anubis is going to be the pick of 3D Max, and if we need it, Ancient is our decider. I like this veto. I think it's a pretty chill one overall. Of course, the only real issue is that Apeks insta-ban nuke, but aside from that, it's a really good veto, all things considered. I think this should basically open things up for a 3-map affair.
Yeah, I feel like it probably will as well, right? We've obviously got a lot of energy in behind this 3D Max team at the moment. They'll be looking to really make a mark. Actually, the last time these guys faced off, a couple months ago now, right? But it was a 2-0 in favor of Looking for Org at the time, 3D Max. So that's certainly something to consider. But yeah, you talk about the Inferno looking pretty good for Apeks at the moment. I do also feel that 3D Max on Anubis, also decent, kind of interesting. Maybe an Ancient pick, would you have perhaps said? Seems to be a little bit of a better map at the moment.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's sort of a pick your poison type vibe for 3D Max, unfortunately. Although they are good on the 2 picks they could have gone for. Apeks also are. There's no real opportunity to punish, basically, is the problem with the 3D Max veto for me.
Yeah, this is the issue. If you look across all the maps, right, you even look at the likes of the Vertigo, which gets banned out in that second wave by Apeks. That's also a map which they literally have mirrored stats, 12 times played, 50% win rate. So there really doesn't seem to be any kind of better plays. I think basically the way you have to go into it, if you are 3D Max, in this situation, is play out what are you confident with? What is the map that at the moment has been feeling pretty good? And that's what they go in towards Anubis. I don't mind this overall. It feels like a map in which they have some level of an idea around of what they've been playing, what they're trying to do. They're definitely trying to incorporate a lot more. It's become one of their most played maps. And of course, they've picked up some fairly decent results as of late. You know, even kind of, with half a month to a month ago, beating decent teams like Into the Breach, 9, Monty, all kind of in quick concession. That's what you want to see. However, when it comes down to it, like you mentioned, Apeks are also pretty damn good at it. But at the moment, Apeks' stats seem to be pretty good across the board. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to throw this one to a break. When we come back, we're going to be heading straight in towards map number 1. It's Inferno up on the docket first. It's Apeks' pick. Sit tight. We'll see you soon.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back in. Thank you for your patience. Little bit of a wait to get us started, but we are here on Inferno between the Frenchman and the mix of Apeks. Very much looking forward to seeing what this new 3D Max team has got in store for us, man. I have been a big fan of the all looking for org. This mixture of players have been looking very, very good in the tier 2 space and warming up just in time for the RMRs, I feel.
Honestly, right now, in terms of kind of the online tier 2, tier 1.5, they look like one of the scariest teams, without a shadow of a doubt. They've been putting up numbers. They've been taking some pretty big teams down. And I think that the org support as well, surely they can only get better and better. They've silently boosted in here, though. Maka panicking, running away, but he might run into danger.
Potentially. It's Exorcist around the corner with these Julies, though, that will be the one to open up. Loses his life pretty quick. So into the 4-on-4. But this A bomb site, pretty weakly defended, it has to be said. Maka is creeping around, trying to get a quick flank from short. He might just get away with it. He has been heard, but rips ahead clean off. So advantage, 3D Max. Where do they go from here, however? Big smoke out towards long, of course. You can't really do much about it. Have to wait for it to go down or change position. They opt to change position and just pick up the pace. Great little flash to net the frag for Jocko. Down to just 2. And one of them has no armor. Mr. Nork in from pit. Has to go massive. Don't know that it's going to happen for him. Player on the bomb, putting him under pressure, and down he will fall to the Julies of Maka. So 3D Max coming away with the first round.
Nice retake as well. Actually, really well played. I think, especially when you lose that initial fight and you actually lose that initial control over towards the A site, when you're 3D Max, the best thing you can do is just slow things down. Wait for Apeks to be caught in transition about setting up their post bar, and that's exactly what we see. Really well played. And overall, now we have a fairly decent position to talk of, where you've got 3D Max with at least enough money to contend with the force bar that Apeks is going to go with, but it is still a risky position. Because Apeks are going to bomb down, they can reinvest in, so we see the Galil's out, and I don't know, man. These Galil force by second rounds are always so perilous.
Can be a bit scary, for sure. And especially if you aren't ready for them, play a bit too loose. Oh, okay, that's kind of awkward. Dink onto Jocko from his teammate. I don't think that was part of the plan, but nobody going down, and Apeks not really showing too much presence in Banana there.
Yeah, what's the plan here? What is the plan of action? All goes a little quiet. Apeks just going to hold and wait. I think really, especially with 3D Max having a little bit of a jankier buy. That's a really good Molotov, by the way. It's a not out here special right there, but it actually Molotovs both sides. One Molotov clears out both the left and the right. It's so damn strong. Once taken towards your pugs, Jocko going to find the first. Casanito will trade. And that's where that Molotov does a lot of damage. Takes a lot of space.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say not a bad move for Apeks ultimately. I think they'll be very happy with that, and it gives them that presence, that control that they desire, and you can see rotating back around to the A side of things. Utility going down, slow build up here for Apeks. But liking the sound of where this one is going to end up. It's just a case of dealing with the pit side players. Oh, and they're both swinging at the same time. Beautiful find from Maka there on the short player. Exorcist as well. So much damage. Really well held. Really well read. Ultimately, you know, it's like, oh, they're on kind of weaker weapons. We can play with our range and play around the harder angles to deal with, you know? Really, really well done.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's exactly what we want to see as well. Just a good level of control coming through. Just a bit of that space overall. And now for a interesting position in terms of what the response is going to look like for Apeks. Unfortunately, not a lot to be brought to the table here. Just the upgraded pistols. Unfortunately, even armor feels like a bit of a luxury. Make sure they have money for AKs in towards the next round. 3D Max should get a 3-0 start. Simply put. What do we see coming forward? Spray down Banana. Pretty damn close to a kill there. Jocko could be in trouble. Going to try and double away. Gets caught by Casanito.
Nice early pickup, to be fair. I don't know if they will be able to get their hands on that rifle all that easily, but again, they've split the defense. Quick rotation across from 3D Max. A bomb site could be an easier take. What a dunk. Kakanito has no idea what has just hit him there. Absolutely perfect nade.
4v4, an upgrade, and more importantly, not even just an upgrade, just making sure the weapons are kind of shipped away, right? Making sure that these pistols can't pick them up. And Galil goes into the wrong hands. Someone hits a couple of crispy shots. Who knows? You're in trouble before you even know it. It's the right way to play it. It's just better safe than sorry, so to say.
Yeah, that's how we like it. 35 seconds to make a move. Again via long. At least for Kixon. And the bomb. Okay. 20 seconds now. This is an interesting turn of events for sure. You know, got to pick up the pace. Oh, okay. Nice one from Jacob, but yeah, there it is. Exercise drops the bomb. That'll be the round. And we maybe even get cheeky here. Nork recognizes it and knows that he does have to go down after time. They've done some decent damage there, though, to be fair to them.
Not a bad shot there, has to be said, too. That swing from Nork. I mean, Nork's been kind of the talk of the town as well, even though at the Elisa Masters Espo, they ended up losing to Furia in that final. Nork still walked away with the MVP. He is the man of the moment. I think he could probably even start to make some pretty decent arguments that he could be currently one of the best Swedish players in the world. If not the best, you know, in terms of current form. He's been looking pretty good. There's an argument to be had, but at least he's putting up some decent numbers overall. I want to see him in towards the AWP. That's what he does. Odds work with it. I don't have the money for it just yet. Speaking of, Maka does. But he's Molotov off the angle. Oh, he's going to stick around.
Nork spamming away. Oh my goodness, flash comes in. He's able to hide, but Casanito will not be so lucky, and the fire eventually spreads to Nork. What a mess at the top end of Banana. And in particular, a mess for Apeks. Really, really great round for 3D Max, and I think they should be able to walk away with a clean one here.
Yeah, surely. I can't see a world in which they don't now. So again, for the two remaining, Sense and Kixan. Oh, laboured spray. Sense does deal damage, not enough for the kill.
Sense on the creep. I don't really know what the game plan is here. You know, they're obviously desperate for some kind of a pop-off. They're just hoping that Sense's presence will draw a bit of attention away from B, but not really. This is an impossible angle to cross. Fair play from Kixon. Nice frag there. The round itself is just not going to happen. There's hardly even enough time to get the bomb back towards B, to be honest.
Well, as long as I stay alive, I guess we can take a silver lining. They can't really reinvest into us next time, so probably just the best thing overall. Saying, hey, let's just try and wield with a double AK setup and a couple of good pistols, but 3D Max, not a bad start to your opponent's map pick. 4-0. It does give you some room to work with. First attack pause going to be called here. Good opportunity, of course, for Mytha to come into the conversation and control through the notes of Stoik, the analyst over towards Apeks. A UK CS boy as well, making it to the big stages. And let's hope he's got something prepared, because at the moment, not looking too good. 3D Max, it's been relatively plain sailing. You know, Maka yet to die, wielding the orb. There's a lot of money left in the back pockets of 3D Max. Doing quite a comfortable spot. They can actually now start to test the waters a bit, see how things look when they go a little bit more aggro, when they sit back, etc. Because they've got rounds in arrears to test this all out.
Alrighty. A little bit of a technical pause coming in. Hopefully not going to be waiting too long on this one.
Yeah. Tack into tech, you do hate to see it. But
never ideal.
Only, like you mentioned, a small one, and then we can get things back underway. But overall, been a pretty good game so far. Seeing some very good work come through from the 3D Max roster, and this is what we want to see. Like, we were having this conversation earlier. I think at the moment, in terms of kind of the online tier 2 teams, I would put kind of Apeks currently in a kind of tier 1.5 space, but I think 3D Max just a little bit underneath that, just because of maybe the lack of LAN experience in a way, and they're only just inside that top 30. In terms of the tier 2 teams, though, when you look towards the RMR, which is just around the corner, they actually look like one of the more fearsome sides. I think Apeks are a side who it would be good to see them go back to the RMR, and if they can, get to a LAN stage like they did at Elisa, may I say, I think there is definitely a world which we can have conversation about them at the RMR. 3D Max, I'd love to see there. It's an org back in towards the scene, which is always a good thing. And not only that, the team playing really, really well. 4-0. Let's see if it continues. Back into a bye for Apeks. It's a triple Galil double egg gate. So it's actually a pretty one.
Sense is very quickly out short here. Oh, I think he's just been spotted there. Nearly found a nasty gap, but he is so confident right now. Clean headshot onto the first. Agi left low as well. Oh, goes in a little aggressive. At least Jacob finds the kill. Exorcist to the back end of the site has bought some time. Rotation looks successful. Just 2 remaining for Apeks. Attack into the tech, and we come out with the fastest round you can think of. Really aggressive. Especially for Inferno. Kicks in with a nice find. Need one more of those. However, bomb in the mid-round is going B. So they'll get the plant out at the very least, but not the healthiest of players, is it, really? And they will notice this very quick.
It's the real issue. This 2v2 becomes very awkward. These M4s can do exactly that. Mow them down with ease. 1v2. They do have to start making a move, though. Only one kid to speak of. If Jocko falls, does become a little bit dicier. And Norg does need to peek.
Oh, the Molotov will force him to do so. He's close, to be fair. But not close enough. 5th round in a row for 3D Max. CD side looking very, very solid.
Yeah, fair play. Fair play. 5-0. Apeks yet to scratch the surface. Much closer that round, all things considered. A little bit of a change in tempo, trying to get up in the face there of 3D Max, but they were ready for it. Oh, play, and even that lurk play with the bomb plant. The bomb plant's good. Lost bonus bomb plant, that's a buy for Apeks. But again, there's less than premium rifles creeping into the fray. And funnily enough, it's going to be 3D Max going in towards attack boars. I mean, right now, things look very comfy for them. I don't think they're too worried. It's just about making sure that things overall are in a somewhat comfortable space. And they are. At a 5-0 start, we can just keep things ticking over. We might start to see a one-sided affair. Apeks have anything to lock at the moment. It's pretty one-sided.
Alrighty then. What is the move from here? Apeks, yeah, really do have to show us something impressive. That was kind of the closest that they could come. Alright, speed out middle. The trade is there at the very least. Oh my goodness, so much damage done by Hadji, but no kill. So Apeks in a winnable position here. The A-bomb site as well had only been left with 2 players, so maybe an overstep from 3D Max to be so far up with their defense. And they're thinking about it now, aren't they? Do we save? Do we go for it? No opportunities really presenting themselves.
Yeah.
Fresh smoke. Yeah, just... Ooh, okay. Maybe. I don't know. It feels like an exit angle, really. But hard to tell. They're really playing this one by ear.
Hang on.
As they say, yeah, okay, hold the phone a little bit. Flash is coming round. Nork turns away. Does find a clean headshot. And a nice spray on the second. All onto Maka. 1v1. Not a lot of time. Can he find the shot here? He's not feeling it. He's not feeling it. He will dip out and give the round up.
Didn't have time, sadly. Honestly, a situation there with 5 more seconds might have been all right. Nork will close it out. 3 kills to his name. There's Apeks into their first round, finally. Bit of success coming through. Bit of a discussion to be had about this resurgence on the T side. And, you know, with this being Apex's map pick, we need to see it. It's been one of their best choices as a map for quite a while. They put a very solid performance on it. It's obviously where they're most confident. Again, still a little bit of a deficit to climb back into. And with these rounds, even when they find success, and as Apeks start to find success, if they're still incredibly expensive, and money's always going to be at such an awkward spot. Hence why you see Kicksan in towards the Mac 10. Maka holding, but over smoke. Down in front of it. Hang on. Oh, he gets mighty close to Jacob. He's very fortunate to stay alive.
Kicksan charging in. This is going to be a difficult one. There's so many bodies around here. Kicksan will be the first one to fall without finding a frag. Second kill for the Frenchman. It does appear that Apeks are giving up the charge, so they will drop back. For now, it's not a full commit to A necessarily. Exorcist lucky to be alive. Nice dink onto Jacob. There are bullets raining in everywhere right now, and I don't know which way it's going to lean. The rotations have obviously come in from 3D Max, so that's what changes things up quite substantially here.
Yeah, it does feel like it. On the corner, Exorcist hoping to do something with the Caesar at close range. All of this comes down to what Maka can do with the AWP. Thankfully, he's rotated over at the right time. Down goes Exorcist. Do they clear first orange on and effectively? Maka might get a peek to work with here. He does. There's one. Not quite the second. Lucky to still be alive. On the swing, down he falls. And that should be the round as well. 1v2. Haji's opened things up. Surely not. Haji wins it out with the pistol. No way. That is a massive throw there coming through on the Apeks side. Against the pistols and 1 AWP, but it's a 5-7. That does all the legwork.
Absolute
close range.
Bat out of hell, bro.
Yeah.
What a madman. What a madman. Loving it, though. This is the kind of game that we wanted. Scrappy, aggressive. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant stuff. But not so brilliant for Apeks, of course. Looking a little rough here now.
Spamming above the top of that smoke. Met with a grenade. Not exactly the nicest greeting. Great key control taking a great nade that comes through. In fact, Jacob and Sassanito take a fair decent chunk of damage. As that smoke starts to dissipate as well. Met with a Molotov. This is really good B utility. They've just denied Apeks so much control so quickly. Clear it. No.
Bit of an interesting kind of push, I have to be honest. But we'll see. Rotations around as Lucky looks to bolster the defense, as does Maka. We are committing to A. Apeks, though, are not. So this could get a bit freaky.
At least for now. In they come, looking towards B. Marcus going to rotate as quick as possible. Met with a smoke, that's going to deny a lot. Pop shot is good though. Nork falls. A random shot from Maka works well. Sight is still taken here by Apeks.
Maka sticking around, does have to be careful with how far he goes around these corners. Lurking presence over on A as well. Keep your eye on that. Oh no. Jocko should have had that one. Ah, this is going to be tough now, isn't it, really? He's able to rotate around pretty quickly. Exorcist late to the party. It's not really looking good for 3D Max. They're split. They're lacking information. Seems like they're committing to the exit here. Maka loses his head. That's a pretty big deal. That's the AWP down. And that will affect the buy going into the next round.
Yeah, it's a good post bomb. Has to be said. Apeks very clean. Even though the likes of Jacob and Sense, you know, walk away with this one. Pretty low. Well, Jacob's not going to be walking away from it. He's blown out of the server. But either way, you know, they're pretty low. towards that post bomb. All things considered. Apeks for another second. Starting to chip away at the deficit, which is important. Question, of course, being now, how many kind of... What's the consistency looking like over towards Apeks? I think they just need to be careful that they still keep things to a somewhat close degree heading in towards our second half. 3D Max, not a bad T side on this map. Especially, of course, if you start seeing Exorcist rocking and rolling. Maka does have the AWP. There's an auto shotgun and MP9 to support it, though. So, struggling to a degree.
Yeah, not ideal. Exorcist, this is confident and dangerous. Able to just about make it away. The auto shotgun, that is unlucky. Not much you can do about that one, right? On the head. Sometimes that's an insta-kill. Sometimes you get in the dink. You know, I think they are so inconsistent. Maybe not quite as bad as Go, to be fair. But still pretty inconsistent. Nonetheless, man advantage Apeks. Oh, not going to check their angles cleanly, but Jocko on the MP9 is not quite enough. Maka is here, so this could be a difficult crossing. Misses his shot. And again, with such an advantage, they can freeze it, they can pull back, and they can find a free A bomb site.
That'll be that. And of course, it'll be around in a matter of mere moments. The second it goes down, it's already around as it is. You know, you've got to go for a save every 3D Max. Keeping that all alive is the priority. And unfortunately, they won't really have the money to work with in terms of a drop. So the next round's going to be, what? A M4 and an AWP. And then maybe upgraded pistols. It's going to be pretty awkward, to say the least. And that's if they're given the luxury, of course, of saving these. The big thing is trying to stay alive. Maka gone for the elevated angle. Not often cleared this one, but can leave you quite vulnerable because I'm pretty sure they can see your toes first. For now. I won't go any further. I was wondering where the sensors are looking. No need. Apeks going to find their third deficit, like we mentioned, slowly being chipped away. That's what it's all about.
Money, money, money. Looking pretty good for Apeks in the past few. Some really great reads, really great mid-rounding. So, liking what we're seeing, they're clawing away at this lead. Definitely curious for what 3D Max are going to have in store to kind of solidify themselves moving into half two. Maka will melt ever so slightly. The lone B defender. They've gone for a long stack out here on the French side of things, and I don't know if it's going to see too much action, which is unlucky for them.
I do like this setup. I'm not actually... Oh, hello. It's all right. If anyone just coming out of bulk. I've actually never seen anyone use this setup before. That is new. I'm sure in a day's time, we'll see it in an Out Here video. 20 tips and tricks for your Inferno CS2. But unfortunately, like you mentioned, they really aren't going to get anything in terms of a use of it. Sense is still lurking around. I still don't really think he's going to get anything to work with. Bomb will go down. That'll be the round. We kind of expected it. That's the big thing, is just that loss of the AWP. Overall, though, make sure, protect the president, keep the M4 in play, and you shall be fine.
Yeah, looks like it should be all good. There's only Sense on this side of the map, and he's not really hard committed to this idea. So it is fair enough. Oh. Oh, they're after him. Damn. All right. Well, the M4 will make it in. That's about it, though. Pretty clean one from Apeks, of course. Not really taking any damage at all until I mention it, of course. But, yeah, a lovely round. No one going down. And bringing it quite close here towards the tail end of the half where it was looking pretty scary for a sec.
Yeah. Well, I think I do wonder now, actually, on the other side for 3D Max, when you start to lose a few rounds in succession like this, is this where a couple of the players start to get a little antsy? You know, XC's had a few opportunities, Maka as well, where they look actually pretty crisp. You're hitting the shots. They start to get antsy and thinking, maybe I got to start making a bit of a difference myself. Fortunately, not looking good as Kickchan and Jacob got other ideas. Jocko will trade. This is looking very good once again for Apeks. What a response as well after a pretty poor start to the half.
Oh my goodness. That is ridiculous. 14 HP. And he survives, by the way. What a madman. What a madman. The MP5 fiend himself. Good nade as well to finish off. So 3 versus 3 looks a little better. I like the bolster on towards A as well. Apeks, predictably to us, like flitting between the bomb sites and generally show heavy presence somewhere and then do a bit of a lighter move to the other bomb site. But with that kill coming in, Sense might just have done the damage. Oh, big one from XSC Stoke. Unable to confirm the bomb carrier, which does make a big difference. Where are we going? What's the plan? Oh, it's so difficult to predict here.
Making their way through in this 2 versus 2. When the bomb goes down, there's question marks of what the call is. Do they give it a go? I think by the slow movements, the answer's going to be no. Oh, wait, hang on. No. I really don't think they're going to give this too much of a look at. Maybe they play X's, but time is ticking already. You know, already a quarter away through the bomb plant, and they've gained no information to the site. Unless somehow, some way, Haji finds a way into this. I don't know. But on this side as well, they really are going to struggle buy-wise into towards next round regardless. So why not give it a go? They're sticking around for exits. They're not giving really anything. I speak too soon. XC finds both, but they don't have the time to work. If it doesn't... Yeah, 2 more seconds, maybe that retake could have worked. Also, question marks on why they were so slow to then give it a go in terms of the retake. The Apeks, their 5th. Within 1. Look like a very even half.
It's pretty good. It's pretty solid. What were we? 6-1? So, a really, really great turnaround from them. Maybe not quite as impressive doing it at the start of the game, but it still looks pretty damn good when you get through. It was indeed 6-1. So, yeah, a difficult game for 3D Max to work with here. They've obviously seen the high highs, but now getting the low lows a little. Can they just edge out a lead moving forwards is the big question. Haji says yes. Down middle, finds 2. That is a real push up against Apeks and pressing the attack, man. He is not showing any signs of backing off.
Haji. That smoke clearly selling Kickchan on the river. It does anyway. At the tail end of this half, 3D Max finally going to close things out, but 7-5. It could have been more one-sided. We'll have to wait and see whether they can continue things in the second half.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back in. We are here with the second half, of course. A relatively brief break there, which is always nice. This pistol really going to have a pretty massive effect, I think, on the way that this game continues to pan out, particularly if 3D Max are able to win it, of course. You know, a real slow end to that first half. They did get the final round. That is a CS classic, losing 4 in a row and then winning the last round of the half, you know, suddenly out of nowhere. But all the same, Apeks really battled to bring it back. Asanito going to get caught pretty heavily. Haji in towards short. Okay, isn't even really needed because everybody else winning their 1v1s. Jacob all alone and 3D Max off for a perfect pistol. Before I even get the words out, Jacob will find a frag. Just a survival battle for this guy now.
Yeah. I mean, with the kind of the raid boss he is, you know, half armor and the Julies, it's can he stay alive? But he also has been tagged as well, so we will see. There is a little bit of a hunt coming through. I think they're going to find him in a second as well. Lucky he's got the util. Now they spotted him. Now it's all about can he stay alive. He's being pincered from both ends. Jacob going to find one there at the very least. Actually, Jockey's going to respect him. Looks like they might just allow him to stay alive. Nobody else poking and prodding. Julie's deep down, but overall it's going to be 3D Max finding another pistol. I think that's 2 for 2 now for 3D Max, and they can claim a very decent little gap over Apeks now. 3 rounds, which should be made 4 in just a second. Apeks don't have the money to work in terms of a force buy. All things considered, good position to be in for 3D Max. Very confident start to both halves is what it's all about. So Apeks, well, all the really willed. Hang on. They're going to force? They're going to force. My God, this is risky. This is very risky. They've gone for a force here against what is going to be a very comfortable 3D Max buy. So we got a Max in an MP5. And met with a very deep net. It's not a great start. 3D Max. I don't know whether they expect this level of a buy coming out of Apeks. They might just catch him off guard.
Why is Lucky on the MP5, bro? Why is Jocko not on it, man? I'm disappointed. I just remember, like, one of my first times casting him as a player was on, like, Overpass, one of the maps. And he literally bought the MP5 for, like, 4 rounds in a row and entered in 3 of them, like, on the B-bomb site. It was just the wildest thing I'd seen, you know? So it seems something going on in the French scene. They know the secrets of the MP5, I think.
Well, for now. K10's taking damage. So's Nork. It's a quad stack towards A. It's one of those things, well, if they were to go towards B at the moment, they would take the site. I mean, Apeks would just call for a full save, but they're actually going into the quad stack. This could get a lot messier than I thought. This round could be on strings just a little bit.
Oh, Haji. All right, and the rest of the team going to find the entries. Not worked, has it? Not worked, fellas. Nork gets 1. That's it. Hickson is just going to save his 5-7. Try and give it another go. So, yeah, it's difficult, man. You've allowed 3D Max to expand their lead. As I often say, if you may be in on the casts a fair amount, the pundits are a bit more about the percentages. That's why we're kind of against it. Obviously, there's a lot of sort of human factors that come into decisions like that. Believing in yourself, knowing where your ceiling is, thinking your opponents are bad or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's that kind of thing where you have to try and go above and beyond. We are more like, well, most of the time, it doesn't work. Sometimes it does, and it can be big if it does, but a lot of the time it doesn't. And we have a much larger sample size to base that off than maybe an Apeks would. You know what I mean? Because they just base it on, like, their own force buy success rate, which might, proportionally, be quite high. But we've obviously just seen there that it's really not worked. Yeah, in quite a bad way, I would say, as well. Not only have you given 9 across, now they're going to get 10. Also didn't really get an awful lot of kills. It's not like you've done much damage to bring the economy down. So 3D Max are going to be flying after they win this one.
fight in a second round, you leave yourself so incredibly vulnerable, right? If things go south, and fortunately that is exactly the case. Oh, says kicks and fall. Still looking towards A here. And for Assassinito and Nork, it's not exactly going to be an easy hold. It's just got two USPSs. The one upgraded pistol is alone towards B. And they'll kind of realize that sooner rather than later that this is going to be a very easy site to take. They're just scared of the Cubbies for now, but 3D Max 10-5 scoreline. I got like at this point, you can already start to make conversation about this being hard/too hard to kind of come back into, and that is the worry.
Yeah, pretty big comeback going to be required. You know, you're on the CT side. It's tough to do that. So we need a big change up. We did see a relatively big swing back in the first half. I do feel like this is asking quite a bit. And you can just see the money that's being made by 3D Max is kind of ridiculous. They are absolutely mowing them down the past couple of rounds. Not losing any players. Mac 10 making cash. There goes the first. Jacob actually going to try and stick around and maybe find a fight. Oh, Mac is low. I don't know that he gets this necessarily. So, a couple kills come in at the end. They're on him. But I think Jacob's got a pretty good chance to save this AK.
Yeah. Might be alright, you know.
Oh, I don't know. If he'd carried on running, I think they will eventually find him and probably just trade him out.
Uh-oh. Now he's in trouble. Desperately trying. Not succeeding. Attempt down, nothing saved. But at the very least, Apeks is going to buy it towards the next round regardless. So that is the main thing overall. If he continued going down Banana, I think you're right, he would have saved. But he's also kind of scared that maybe someone will actually rotate off through mid and just kind of pincer him in. Like we said, though, when you're Apeks in that situation, because you force bought into the second round of the CT side, you leave yourself so vulnerable. Well, unfortunately, there is exactly that. Have no money to work with. It allows for 3D Max to put up quite the gap now. At a 10-5 scoreline, Smap 1 looking. He'd be okay.
Beautiful flash round for Lucky. Not able to find anyone, but, you know, scaring them off, keeping Apeks firmly on their toes, and just the whole energy around where the second half is going. I feel like Apeks are lacking that oomph, really. It's 3D Max controlling a lot of the map, a lot of where the fights go down. Seen that a few times, to be honest. I think a lot of teams are kind of liking that to get rid of the pit angle. There were obviously quite a few skyboxes on Inferno above the apartments, which would be where you'd throw it from, you know, behind apps in second mid. But now there aren't any. So that really does open the door for those kinds of smokes.
Yeah. Double molly on the corner here. Flash round as well. Nothing really offering up. It's all a ruse. They do have the bomb, I guess, but it is still all a ruse because they want to head in the direction of A. That long player was holding does fall off the position. This now feels a little uncomfortable. Here comes a smoke, but Nork for the first. Had you fall?
Decent. Exorcist down below. What? That's a mess. Oh my god, and he gets another, man. That is unbelievable.
How has Sense got two there? How's he got one?
No idea. No idea, to be honest with you, mate. But that is the way it goes. And that's the way Apeks get themselves on the board in this second half. A lot more work to be done. But a little bit close in places. The money drying up quite fast for 3D Max, to be fair.
Yeah. That is fair play to Sense. I can't believe he even gets away with one there. He's so blind. Such a laboured spray coming through from 3D Max, and they get absolutely punished. They get decimated on towards the site. It's surprising that they don't really, off the early lack of banana utility, that they make no movement in that direction. This is where things could go the other way. This is where Apeks can start playing the mind games a little bit. Triple stack towards B, and they've just taken banana control. This is great. They're forcing 3D Max to play their playstyle. And re-smoke deep in towards Banana is going to keep them from taking any sort of map control. Of course, because they've got Banana control, they can just rotate one over. Assassinito will go back over towards Long. Exactly, really, what you want to see. This is great early round from Apeks.
"3D Max." Not really much presence from them in this round. They have had their confidence knocked by the last one. I think that much is evident. Where are they going to end up? Don't really have a lot of utility. Severe lack... Well, actually no flashes, not just a lack of them, just none. Ooh, and a late smoke there. Unprompted from Apeks. Going to buy them an awful lot of time. And, you know, sometimes you'd say, okay, maybe I can send some flashes through this. They don't have any, so I don't know how I feel about getting those smokes out this early. They are going to gather a bit of information with the boost, looking to send it in. Jacob good for one, but that's all he's able to get. Nobody around to deny the bomb. It looks like they will just about get it in. 3 versus 3, though. Definitely a retake on the cards.
Doable. Definitely not out of the realms of possibility. Look a little indecisive, though. No, they are going to stick around. Sassanito leading the charge. He's struggled to really get things rocking and rolling, Sassanito. He's only with the 5 kills. And this bomb halfway ticked as well. Sooner rather than later, one's cross. Jocko will find sense. I think they now realize one has pushed through, though. Haji surely catches one. Does catch one. And not quite the last. Sassanito, there's no saving here. Doesn't really matter if the AK's fault. If you're 3D Max, make sure nothing's saved for Apeks. That's an 11th. And that'll be them in a very strong position. Good post spawn. And Apeks was a little indecisive in terms of their retake. And, well, that cost them.
Really fantastic map so far from 3D Max. They obviously drop a rifle in the previous, but bounce back very well there with, you know, an less than ideal utility setup. Timeout being taken by Apeks. Their map pick, by the way, you can see that off in the top right. Yeah, so that's kind of crazy. We've got the Anubis coming up next. Not a bad map for Apeks, but it would be nice, you know, to at the very least give a good competition on the map that you chose to go into, rather than getting steamrolled on it. And, you know, it's a map you said, and quite rightly so, they have been looking okay. So, you know, it's a bit of a surprise here. They won it a couple times on LAN, a little bit close against Furia in the final. So, yeah, I think we're a bit surprised to see this be so one-sided.
Wow. For Apeks. Here's that full buy, Norking towards his fabled AWP. Unfortunately, Sense just left fielding the old MP9. Plays through Balk as well, Sense. So I guess it's not a bad position for the MP9. That goes close ranges. Nice nade. Jacob eats a chunk of damage. Yeah, 56 points. Ain't bad. Once again, decision has to be made. For Apeks, do they play things a little bit passive? Do they try to over-rotate off the back? A lot of ult will be taken in towards top car. They're sticking with 3 towards A, even though there's been no real noise or movement made that way.
Waiting for a mistake, waiting for an overpeak on the B site, but I don't really think that anything's going to happen for quite a while here. 3D Max will make their presence known. At least a small amount of it. Kixon's got a pretty well-timed smoke once again. And rinse and repeat of the previous round, maybe. Are we going straight through? Ooh, the old boost smoke. Kind of smart, making sure they keep everyone isolated on this B bomb site. Not really much that Jacob can do from up here now. Really well read by 3D Max. Quick 1-for-1 trade to get into the bomb site itself. Plant will come round. Decent damage through the smoke, but it's followed, and now a man advantage going into the retake. And of course, Apeks, they are really, really looking worse for wear in terms of the weaponry, in terms of the utility, no kit, so they will save, and they are going for the overtime.
It's not going to be easy at all. Apeks, unfortunately, their map pick, they have very rarely scratched the surface here. Absolute credit. I mean, 3D Max came out the gates absolutely flying and in towards the T side of honestly looked arguably even better. This is a really solid T side they've been putting up. Very, very simple in terms of what they're trying to achieve. I mean, Lucky going to stick around, make sure that nobody's going for anything late here, but he should be fine to stay alive. That bomb radius is pretty damn big, but I think he should be okay. Yeah, he's fine. 12-6. Double the score of your opponent. It's been an incredibly one-sided showing so far. And an alarming position now we find ourselves in at a 12-6 scoreline. Do Apeks have anything left in the tank? Thankfully, they will have a buy to work with, and Sense unfortunately still on towards that MP9. Is there anything left for Apeks to find in this game? Even the conversation on overtime feels pretty far-fetched.
Nork up on the boost. No one there. Oy, 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 oy. A little dodgy there. They're around the smoke, right? I think they wanted to end up on the wall and to leave Nork up on that half wall. They actually eat a pretty big nade on the way out as well. So really not the best look, I think it is safe to say.
It's not a dream, right? You know, starting this one off at between kind of 50 to 60 HP. Out of sense, gonna play close. Maka takes a hefty tag there. Lucky can still be alive, but I guess doesn't need to abide by Bogdan's law. Just keeps out of the AWP. 8 on the smoke. Anyone behind it? Yes. Maka dead. Jocko and XC's on to back. Good trades. Great trades. In fact, XC makes it a double.
Madness. Sassanito trying to hold. Unfortunately unable to pop off. Looking very good here for the victory. Just Nork stands between 3D Max and a win, so not too much to ask of them. 50 HP up against the AWP. And indeed there are 2. So what does Nork do? Coming away from B. He's got to wait for this smoke. He doesn't have a kit. Like, yeah. This is really an impossible situation. There's maybe about a 1% point that he gets this.
Yeah.
And they are playing so safe, man. Yeah, they really, really are. Really solidly done by the two of them to just not throw that one away. 13-6. That is a very, very simple looking map from 3D Max, to be honest with you, right? Not too much in terms of the mid-rounding, in terms of reading. Sometimes I feel Apeks maybe overthinking it a little bit, especially on that defensive side.
Yeah, I think it's spot on. I think at times things can look quite rough around the edges of what we see out of Apeks. And, you know, that was not the showing we'd expect out of the side. This is meant to be one of their best maps. And they've looked very good on Inferno in the past. Even, you know, throughout Elisa, it was a map in which they were more than happy to go into. But I think a lot of credit has to go towards 3D Max. They very obviously had all the right preparations, because everything Apeks are trying to do there got read like a book. And I think, you know, we speak about all the kind of the changes that they've gone through. Fasico is probably going to be one of the most important ones, the analyst over towards 3D Max. He's definitely very much prepared for what Apeks is going to bring to the table. And yeah, read them like a book. It was a very good map number 1. But of course, it's only map number 1. We have at least one more left in the back pocket. It's going to be 3D Max's pick. Coming up next is Anubis on the docket. Ladies and gents, sit tight. Go and get yourselves a drink or something to eat. We're going to be back in just about 10 minutes with map number 2. Anubis up next.
Hello everyone, welcome back. A little bit of a wait there, but we are on Anubis now. Apeks using that break time to the best of their ability and trying to get as much squeezed out of it as possible. But we are indeed on to Anubis. 3D Max will be looking to secure their own pick and take the 2-0 victory.
Yes, I think it's safe to say 3D Max made things look pretty damn easy. Map number 1 was plain sailing. Pretty good on the pistols too. Can they do it once again? The util misses, but Jocko doesn't. 2, make that 3. No, not quite. It's Jacob for a double. And the numbers advantage in favor of Apeks.
Lucky. Oh, he's in a solid position there. He's done a lot of damage to that second player. Yeah, they're not feeling too confident about taking the fight against him. Faking out the rotation. Lucky is close to rounding this corner. Gets the info at the very least. Going to drop back. Very well played. Very well played, but still not quite sold on which bomb site it's going to end up being.
For now, lose quiet. Never mind. I speak too soon. A lot of information being gained by Haji here. Basically, he just has to keep jiggle peeking to double check it in towards water. It's a good angle for Lucky to hold. Can he hit the shots? The answer so far is, yeah, you're going to let him out. I don't mind this play, but it will be a retake. Bomb will go down. Post one set up, and now the cards go in favor of Apeks. Trying to set things up. Haji for 1. Kicksands put himself into the 1 versus 1, running low on ammo. Just needs to hit 1 bullet here, Haji. And he's running out, and Kicksands doing a good job of buying time. But he cannot do it enough. Haji, well played from him. I think 3D Max, in general, well played too. He has a kit too, so you're going to go look for some upgrades. A Molotov, Julie's picked up. He's got all the time in the world. He ain't stressed. It's going to be 3D Max finding that first round. But a bomb plant, of course, does allow Apeks to go for a force buy. So something we'd absolutely expect coming into us next round. And pistol rounds are all good. Force buys are more important.
Very true. And they are indeed going to send it. Yeah, a bit of a close one there. It's a shame for Apeks. Would have been lovely for them to get it over the line. Very awkward. Team damage on both sides of the equation. I don't know. It's that kind of moment for me. I don't know if maybe they just kind of committed in. I think there's an awful lot of like freeze calling and pulling back, rotating. When just keep it a bit simple. You know, that's how 3D Max approach things. Very loose, very individually based, and have some confidence in your aim and your calls.
Yeah, I agree. You know, sometimes there's moments where, you know, calling straight out of spawn definitely isn't the right call. But I think there, you're spot on. I think once you've got that many fights, the worst... There's surely no way that Apeks are expecting 3D Max to have, what, like a quad 5 stack towards the A site? It'd be such a risky call. There'd be no point in 3D Max making that risk. Shadow spotted. Jacob better, and Sen's also find 1 as well. Hang on, that's a very nice double entry.
Jacob gonna lose his head. Oh my goodness, and the follow-up was so close. They're aware of Sen's position here. Molotov going down, forcing him away. Sense actually wins the fight out, however. It's just now Haji remaining, and very bright as he moved through that smoke. Force buy going to be won up by Apeks. And a big round for Sense on the 3K.
Good to see. Good to see indeed. And when it comes down to it, again, these sort of situations, force buy is more important on the pistol. 2D Max, I'd assume they go for a force themselves. They're in double eco territory. Yeah, okay, there we go. Force is going to come through. Upgraded pistols going to come out. They're in a double eco territory. You kind of have to go for this. You don't really get a decision here or a choice. Maka is not going to buy, but understandable. He wants an AWP in a couple of rounds' time when they have their buy out. But it does give Apeks a good chance at a second here, and potentially even more as well. Flash in the corner, will catch Lucky. He's in trouble. Down he goes.
Sense moving in fast towards this A bomb site. Only the 1 player to deal with, should be easy enough. Oh, he says. And Exorcist does make it kind of awkward. Still, bomb will be planted momentarily. Everything should be sorted nice and fast. Haji's going to hold on to his AK. And look to do some damage in the next round with the armor and whatnot. We are collecting smokes as well, so maximizing the money that can be made in this round on the 3D Max side of things, but the round itself is probably what they were after. they're not going to get that.
Nope. One AK save by Hadji. Let me thinking whether anything else can come forward. You know, they stick around for exits maybe, but no need. They're not required to do so. An AK is a good thing to keep hold of. And of course, Hadji had a half armor too, so pretty important. Just get his kill. You take the old silver linings here and there. But again, Apeks into a lead now is what matters most. There won't be a buy-in towards this round either, as that technically was a force in the round prior. So question marks maybe what they go for the 3D Max. Because they've got an AK, they can slightly buy around it, just not fully. How do they try and get basically this AK-47 activated for Hadji? How do they put him into the right positions? Do they use some of these kind of lesser buys as cannon fodder, human flashbangs? I don't know, it's a bit of a weird round. All things considered for 3D Max for Apeks, this should be a freebie. Jocko, the lucky man, still be alive. And it's not for much longer. He eats a nade.
Still stacking around mid. Could see some action if they play their cards right, but Apeks, you know, with the initial frag, just have so much control, really. And they're going to back off, make a B play, but now B has been bolstered, so could get a bit fruity over here. Hadji still on this AK, in behind the pillar. Flash is absolutely perfect, though. Not a chance. Really well played. And Apeks in for another.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, it's a round in which we sort of expected anyway. We were just kind of wondering maybe whether that AK gets any sort of action, but yeah, not to be. The 5-7 could potentially play for Exa here. I don't know whether, again, he gets given the luxury, but overall, Apeks, good to see. These are rounds which, you know, in your mind are must-wins every day of the week. You cannot afford to lose these if you're Apeks, and thankfully, they don't. Important, simple, effective. Once again, now going to see things off flawlessly for them. So, back into a buy, 3D Max. Back into the rifles, we're going to see come forward. Maka has enough for an AWP. He's just shy of the AWP and full armor, but I guess against the AKs, you don't really need them. Only real issue is that there is 2 M4 still in play. But you'd assume he'd be fine. Has got a smoke to wield as well. Can 3D Max, can they bite back? They had a very good start in towards map number 1, which continued quite successfully. Do need to be careful, though, not to allow Apeks to build up too much of a repertoire here on the T side. Hello. Look at this one, Jocko.
What is going on? Absolute madman, of course. Oh, that's to be expected. Nork nearly going down to the flames. So, not a bad start. Yeah, they've got super aggressive here on the CT end of things. Really do like it.
Not a complete decision just yet, but at the very least, a lot of early information and very decent damage as well dealt to Sense and Nork, and I feel like he's in a bit of trouble here. Jocko does get dropped, and Kings are going to find one as well. XC's art is back for a double, can't quite make it 3. That's how information there's 1 over towards that A site, and of course, damage is still being pretty significantly taken here by both Sense and Nork. In that 1 bullet headshot range. Oh, timing.
Just crept around the corner. I'm not sure if Sasanito saw the back of him. Feels like maybe they look pretty prepared for a peek come in, and it does.
A shot.
That'll be the round. It's a lovely idea from 3D Max. Doesn't quite work for them, does it really? I don't know. It's tough. It is very tough, but Apeks playing really good Counter-Strike right now.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's a nice idea, just unfortunate the execution. Apeks are answering back. Opponent's map pick, and they're absolutely taking it to them. This is what you'd hope. It's what you'd expect as well of a team of Apex's caliber. Gotta be taking the fights right back to them, which they are on their own map pick. And so far, not so good. Apeks showing why as well they've chosen to go in towards that T side. It's a map in which Honestly, more than like you do see teams like to go for a T-side start. You set the tempo. It's one of the only maps that's ever really been truly regarded as T-sided. And Apeks showing exactly why. Very good kind of time and tempo management. Norkel just about stay alive. He's so damn low, but all that matters, the life kept intact. 4-1. No real reinvestment, unfortunately, around what they'd saved. So it's going to be Apeks, who should pretty comfortably find a 5th here. Already quite the mammoth lead being taken. Semi-worrying times as well.
Jacob looking for the entries here. Only good for the 1. May be able to grab his AK, but difficult to say. All the same, a nice little even trade to start off is not awful for 3D Max.
Jocko, 5-7, is being held for. Now, maybe not. I have a little gap. Oh, unfortunately, kicks and turns around just as we were starting to say. I think this round, once again, is going to be chalked up in a matter of moments. There won't really be too much of a conversation here. Maybe the M4A1S and the scooped up AK could open that door, but even the call to a save wouldn't be the worst idea here. Lucky's nowhere near the action. Hadji is going to be in for a fight here. I don't know whether Lucky gets over there in time to help him, and as Hadji falls, they might just prioritize saving here. Oh, hang on, maybe not. 1v2 could be on the cards here for Maka. I mean, they're going to have a buy until the next round anyway, so why not?
Yeah, I mean, he's making a move in. He might be able to get a catch. Is Sassanito fully hidden around the pillar? It looks like it. Maka would, have seen him by now. So there is potential for exit, but the round itself is just not really going to present itself. He's actually going to leave, just save the AK. Apeks will find themselves yet another round looking pretty good while doing so. Dealing with a lot of different situations, a lot of different players looking effective. So I think we're liking what we're seeing here from Apeks. It's a great response after losing that first map in such one-sided fashion.
Yeah. I mean, there hasn't been too much of a conversation here from 3D Max. They've not shown what we know of them at the very least. So far, it's been pretty damn plain sailing. Apeks have come in towards map number 2. Looking revitalized. Looking a little bit better in terms of their control, their overall tempo that they're setting. Again, this is getting a little bit worrying. 3D Max, inconsistency is plaguing them a tad. You don't want to be dropping in towards that lower bracket. The lower bracket isn't exactly pretty in this tournament. It's some tough teams waiting down there. Nade. That's where Casamito with another one. He's going to start the round very low.
Jocko tagged up a bit. So, yeah, unhealthy players on both sides of the equation here, Neo. I think there is a good amount of damage done by Apeks. That is a near miss. Jacob starting to make the moves out towards middle. But nobody around aggressively, at least. Look, he's got the cheeky little off angle. He's kind of backed up a bit by the AWP. 3D Max absolutely need this round, though. And I think Apeks realized that. Really not giving them any kind of information.
Look at the aggression, though. Kicks and swing. Fine. And Norg to support as well. Maybe a slightly questionable call to go so aggro at that sort of time. Lucky gonna find one through the smoke, however. Definitely changes things, but Central trade him. Another numbers back in favor of Apeks. Do 3D Max even give this a go?
Looking worse and worse, isn't it? Yes, it is a T-sided map, but you need to be putting up numbers on the CT end, at least keeping it close, right? We want 4 or 5 out from them. And they're just not quite as on it, man. Maka goes down, leaving Exorcist all alone, and he's sticking around to try and go for this. Shadow spotted. Spray down nice and easy for Sense. That'll be that. 6-1. Apeks steamrolling ahead.
Yeah, honestly, just not much of a conversation here at all. I mean, fair play to Apeks. That's exactly what we want in terms of a response. They've come in towards this map, and they're not taking any prisoners. And again, we have to ask questions. 3D Max going into their choice. We always were saying this as well. This is a veto which, on paper, didn't actually look incredibly pretty in the sense that every single map that 3D Max could have gone towards, Apeks are also more than happy to play. And this is the worrying thing, and unfortunately, we're kind of seeing exactly this now. You know, you're picking in towards Anubis. You normally expect your own pick to be good, but unfortunately, not always as easy. This pick has looked very good for the opposition. Apeks looking smooth. And at this kind of, the way they're playing right now, we can see them very comfortably push towards like 8-9 rounds at the turn of the half. 3D Max might be struggling to even chip away at any sort of deficit, even though if they go in towards the, what you would call the more favorable C side. Still, 5 rounds the gap. Unfortunately, no real buy for 3D Max to speak of. M4A1S score saved, and Lucky's got an auto shocker.
Not anymore, he doesn't. See you later. That might just be the round as well. Either way, Maka. Oh my goodness, 2 big ones. Very, very big ones, in fact. He'll drop that AK across to somebody with armor. We are definitely on for this retake. Rounding the corner to lead the charge. Decent utility out to isolate some fights. Is it going to be enough? It's Kixon all alone to find 2 more. He knows where they're at. Oh, clean headshot onto the first. Smoke coming round, though, will certainly force him to peek. Hadji gets off thanks to the jump. Very well played here by Kixon. No time for the defuse. And the round won out by Apeks. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, that'll be that. Well played. Even when things got a little shaky, a little bit rough around the edges, Apeks still see it off in a very, very clean manner. 6-round gap now, and you do worry. They will have a buy. 3D Max, of course, Lothra is so built up at this point. You're kind of going to have buys more often than not, but the big thing being that when we've seen these rifles, we just have not seen anything come off the back of it. Maka's got an AWP. And funny enough as well, we haven't really seen too much of an AWP investment come through from North, because honestly, he hasn't really needed to. Hasn't been in the action all that much, but you know, sometimes the confidence with the AK can really set the tone early. Nork is such a versatile player that can do both. Quite a comfortable manner. Flash in the corner. The boost spotted by Lucky here. Could be in a bit of trouble because they're hard to push through it. He's surely going to get overwhelmed. And yes, he will. Cassie to a trade.
Very well played indeed. 4-on-4. It's not a bad look for 3D Max. Keeping it even, you know, just bringing the game back down to the neutral is really important for them with the way that things have been going in the past few rounds. Not much else presenting here, though. Apeks just going to drop back again. Loving a freeze in the mid-round. I kind of criticized them for it a bit in the early stage, but it has worked very well once the rifles have come out.
Worrying times, though. Really worrying times. Towards 3D Max. 4v4. You start to feel at this late stage in the first half that these sort of rounds are must win. Thankfully, they've got the right stack in terms of what Kixon's heading into, but the bomb's not committed by any means. 30 seconds will just shy off. And all the attention's drawn here towards B. The bomb's still not committed at all. Kixon for one. Looking for a second. Will fall to the nade. Now, maybe there's a realization of, hang on a second, nobody else is here. We've got to hightail it towards A. We've got nobody present.
Yeah, not great. Not great at all. Assassinito in towards the deep CT will find the all-important frag. That will force the save out from 3D Max, and they just absolutely cannot buy a round, man. It is so hard to watch in a sense, but Apeks moving up to 8 is a really scary first half, especially when there's still so many rounds left to go.
Yeah. It ain't good. It ain't good. It is very one-sided from what we've seen overall. worrying times. It really is. I don't know whether things are going to change here. This is already looking like such a one-sided affair that whether we're going to have any conversation on the tail end of Hamilton. Try and get back in towards this one. Unfortunately, I feel like this feels like an impossible scenario. Either way, though, 3D Max. There's no point in not giving it a try, I guess. I want to see if they can get like 3 rounds. As weird as it is to say, I'm going to be kind of he's a little bit happy. Maybe they can go in towards the T side, a pistol round, that's up to 5, and deficit only 3 to 4, and it's somewhat doable. Yeah, it's not the nicest scenario to talk about, but fundamentally they're playing from such a deep deficit. Maka, mine's shaken with the smoke, not bad. A bit of nade damage going to come through off the back of it too.
Yeah, decent for sure. Can they capitalize on that though, right? It's probably the best position that 3D Max have been in for a long, long time. And they have to turn it into something, to be honest. It's difficult from here. Apeks, also an unfamiliar position for them. Molotov clears out the right-hand angle. Nobody there. It is just Sense waiting for someone to make a misstep. Not going to happen at this point. Nice little smoke will keep Apeks at bay. It looked like they were right on the verge of going through. And you know what? They're actually still going to give it a go. Hadji, while blind, gets the double spray down. 2 remain now for Apeks. So many angles to clear. They hear the footsteps coming through from Temple. There is a kill onto Jocko, clearing out the site itself, albeit briefly. Exorcist is here fast, leaving Sassanito bombless to do it all. And he's, not got eyes in the back of his head. So down he will go. And finally, 3D Max, they end the drought.
My God, it's been such a long time, hasn't it? Nothing's been looking good for the side, but better late than never. The best they can do is 4. I was saying I'd like to see them get a minimum of 3. If they were able to push towards that 4, like it does become a somewhat doable affair, but I mean, already it's been an absolute near flawless performance for the most part from Apeks. Very few mistakes being made from them. You know, in that scenario, had you been double blind spray down, you can't really equate for that. Triggering this side as well does get slightly concerning for 3D Max. That round, one off the back of a little bit of luck in the sense, but Maka, that wasn't. Finds Kixan. Nice start. Another opening kill, back-to-back opening kills for Maka. It's good to see the Orpa getting a little bit fired up. Nice nade to come through as well.
Deja vu, mate.
Yeah.
Very similar to the opening stages of that previous round. So if that is anything to go off of, maybe it is a good omen. Another kill. Made easy by the nade. Just 3 left for Apeks. A real challenge to work their way round. What can they do from here? You know, it might even just be an angle to hold on to what you have. These 3 players have got plenty of cash. The 2 that died, not so much. I don't know. It's a rough call.
Already a little bit of a gap above that smoke. It could be utilized against them. Jocko needs to be careful. He's running towards water. Answer between the 2 angles. That fight though. Flash will catch him. Jocko gonna find him blind. This should be enough. Should be enough as well. Nork, missed shot from him. Maka don't miss those. Nice flick to be said though from Nork. I don't know whether he's gonna find anything more. He should save the orb. It doesn't really matter. They got so much money, Apeks, but all things considered. 3D Max finding form late into the half. It's once again to reuse the saying later.
Nork will hold on to his AWP. No one around with such little time to deal with him. But indeed, as you say, 3D Max clawing things back to a serviceable level. Yeah, I think the 4 would be nice. It's not awful then. 3 is slimly workable. I think it's our version of 11-4, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
But the 4 would be much, much better.
Yeah, 9-3, I guess, kind of equates to the or wide. It's not by any means, but shot, man. Another entry. Make that 2. Mac has come alive.
Alrighty, this guy will not stop. Oh, and the no-scope. Oh, if only he'd picked the player out of the air.
Can you imagine?
That would have been insane. Kixon is all alone. He's got to ace up to win this round. Plant doesn't matter. It's all about the victory. It's all about the headshots. He's very quickly going to get himself onto high ground, though. They might not expect this. Clearing a lot of angles. So a good idea of where they're coming from. Here's the footsteps of Lucky, of course, but unfortunately, the CT side kind of doing the same thing. There's only so many places that Kixon can be now. They have that site control. Tap on the bomb. Hold on the bomb, in fact. He's not going to have time to get around those corners. A valiant effort, but yeah, it was an insurmountable task. 8-4. You see the run of 8 from Apeks. I think 3D Max will be looking to do that on their own T half. We'll see you there. Welcome back in, folks. Second half underway. Apeks with 8 in a row. 3D Max, though, they just managed to get a serviceable half right at the end with 3 in a row of their own. We're now going to see what their T side has in store for us. A lot of questions here in terms of what they are going to be able to provide, I suppose. Starts off with the pistol, though. They, my money, absolutely need this if they are to think about taking a clean second map. And, well, with Nork missing so many shots, It might be a bit easier than they expected. Sassanito from behind. Good for one, looking for a little bit more. They're going to hunt him down, and they will eliminate him. So well done here by 3D Max, just using those pistols to perfection.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I think for Kixan now, unfortunately, not a chance. This is what we're saying, you know, get a pistol, and there's a conversation to be had. But I still think as well, it's going to be a long way back in towards this game if 3D Max are going to want to take this. Oh, nice from Kixan, at least for that one there, but overall doesn't make too much of a difference. 8-5. 3 rounds is the gap. And a freebie here for 3D Max as well. They should get up to the 6th. No real issues asked. Looking forward to those gun rounds. Especially those first 2 gun rounds are going to be massively important. That's where everything should come to the forefront. Wait and see 3D Max this one. Can't expect all too much from Apeks. A 6th shouldn't be too bad. Got to make sure it's inexpensive.
That is the main goal here. And it should be the case. They're hitting out this B bomb site. There's nobody here. So looks like it should be all good. Just kind of want to make sure that you don't drop any players, really. And again, that looks to be the case as well. Baited into the trap towards Dark, towards Kamals. A little close for Exorcise, but he will survive it. Norg, meanwhile, on a mission. Now, Jocko is here. Should be able to deal with him, but, I mean, if he were a tad bit faster, he could find this frag, defuse the bomb. It would be difficult to stop him, but there's not really enough time to do that anymore.
That'll be that. Scene off, flawless. Nice and easy. All things considered. We said it's going to happen, and that's what it is. So, a 6th on the board. What you want to see. The fact that it's completely inexpensive as well. I think it's just a big thing there. Very close to getting 1, but it does not make a difference. So, first full buy. The first 2 full buys, the big important talking point here. Apeks in towards the rifles on deck. What is, you know, generally regarded as a bonus buy here for 3D Max. Whatever they brought into the rounds prior. Still a pretty competent buy, all things considered. Castane's going to play out in front of that. And he'll go down to the Mac 10. That's an awkward fight to lose.
Yeah, not ideal at all. But looking really good for 3D Max, the way that they want to kick things off here. Very solid. Very solid indeed. Recovery chance for Apeks. I do like the look of where this one's headed, though. Out towards A. There's a lot of bodies here for Apeks. They should be very, very ready. Utility to deal with Sense. Not really much that he can do from back there. Difficult spray downs here. Flash comes in. Oh, and Exorcise manages to find the kill onto Nork. I thought he would be the player to make the difference. Not the case. And with Apeks only having 2 left, they will save.
They have to can't make any decision here, and even saving might not be the easiest. The last is just around the corner as well. Lucky is just going to fall away. Jacob is, well, pretty lucky in a sense that he gets a freebie on towards Jocko. That might spur them to double back. They've got money in arrears, so they may as well go and hunt. And he jumps into his death. Lucky from the side, doubles back, and he'll find him. Nobody saving. Max 3 in a row. And honestly, this next round with money so turbulent over towards the Apeks side, they should tie this game up. We're on. What is a comeback here? Apeks looked like they were in complete control in that first half. And now just a few hiccups at the start of the second. And this entire game is all in trouble if you're Apeks. They're going to go for a timeout, understandably so. Myth are going to enter the conversation. But unfortunately, it's not going to change their financial situation heading in towards this next round. They are not going to have a proper buy of any sorts. Jacob for a Mag 7.
Yeah. Why do you say that like it's, you know, weird?
Right. It's slightly bigger
Mag 7's a
investment, you know what I mean? It's like a 1.2k.
Yeah, but if he gets a
got
kill
loss
with
bonus.
it doesn't matter, mate, as well, you know? This is what we're talking about, that sort of fine line of percentages and confidence, right? You have to find where the balance is. So, where's he going with it? In towards mid. It's not a bad spot as well, you know, a bit of a game plan for it, which we always like. Sometimes when you buy guns like that and you just go anywhere, it doesn't quite make sense, but I don't think he's going to see too much action, unfortunately. Sassanito forced into a fight. Eats a nade, somehow manages to survive, but he is now the only one watching over the B bomb site. There he goes. I don't know, man. You just keep holding your chest armor here.
I feel like it's the only real decision, right? I mean, they are having a look in. Unfortunately, to no avail. I mean, they are going to buy into the round next regardless. It's just whether they take an AK in with the Jake. Will not be doing that. And the last remaining is Kicks, and he should be spotted off in the same manner. To see, so it seemed like he knew. Oh, Kicksan, not bad. 2 kills and a tag as well. Ain't too shabby. He's making somewhat expensive on the way out. Oh, we are tied square. 3D Max making it an 8-4 game from what was a less than adequate first half. This immediate recovery is very nice to see.
Now a timeout from 3D Max. So the pressure is on. The pressure is on. Big round for both teams. But in particular, 3D Max, they feel they should be able to get this with the momentum that they have. And it will therefore start their journey to closing out this series, keeping them alive in the upper bracket side of things as well, which, you know, is not a super long journey. They'll get a bit of time off as well, which might be nice for them. But ultimately in a really solid position now if they win this one.
My oh my. 8-all back into the buy. Neither side going to wield the AWP. Maka more than happy to continue using that AK-47. Of course, we saw Nork do the very similar thing on that T side. On a map like Anubis, well, T side AWPing isn't actually the easiest. All the great angles he's to work with. Smoke will be broken. Jacob will be dropped through said smoke by Haji. That's a great opening hill to find. A lot of space for him to wield as well.
Yeah, man. This 3D Max team looking so different when they've gotten onto the T side, you know? They are way more in control of the engagements. Jocko and Exorcise. I mean, that is beautiful in a lot of senses, to be honest. The Molotov comes in at the perfect time just as the smoke starts to go down. So it's not like they can really escape or get into a better position or whatever, right? They have to be prepared to take the fight, and that's obviously hard when your toes are cooking. So really good sense of timing from the match on that move.
Ecstasy is going to find sense on the way out. And that'll be that. 3D Max going to claw back a lead. Man, this is falling apart rapidly. The Apeks roster. And they've, of course, got no money to speak of either now. So 3D Max not only go 1 round ahead, they should go 2. There shouldn't be too much of a buy to speak of. Another attack forward is going to be called here. Yeah, man, this is... it's not the easiest situation at all. And for Apeks, they've maybe come in a little too overconfident, a little too comfortable in towards the CT side, and really feeling the blunt end of it at the moment. This is where things can rapidly fall apart. At the side of Apeks. Well, let's see. No buy, as we mentioned, so this one we're not really going to expect or hope for all too much. However, into that next buy round for Apeks, you feel like if they don't find it, with 3D Max most likely going to get a 10th here. If Apeks don't find the next one, this entire map and series and upper bracket could be in jeopardy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely wild. We've still got that other game going on as well, the Sinners Spirit game. Don't know if you've seen that. Second map's just gone to overtime, I think.
Also, just to add to that,
crazy.
It's the Academy team playing. It isn't actually the Spirit team. It's not Donk and Co.
Oh!
It's Magnojez, it's Keegan, I think his name is. It's those guys.
Yeah.
It's the full Academy team playing. They got battered 13-2 in map number 1. I saw that at the tail end of it. There's a very quick map number 1 as well. Yeah, 13-2. No one really stepping up at all. And it's gone to OT. And Spirit are 14-12 up in OT. And Sinners were getting, they're getting pretty lively on the socials after that one-sided map one. And a little bit quiet right now, I think.
Well, there you go. I guess they'll probably have them, registered as subs or whatever, and then put in.
Yeah, I didn't realize you could have a whole team as a sub. Yeah. I kind of respect it.
Fair play. Give them some reps, I guess. Kind of throwing them in at the deep end. ECL playoffs for an academy team is quite.
It's deep, a step.
But,
imagine they win it though. Imagine they win that this round. That is not saying they win the whole thing would be so outlandish, but. They win, this OT, they're already 14-12 up, it seems. Win that one out. About to be 15-12, actually. So they're about to do a flawless first half of OT. They do that, and then they got one more map, and they're in an upper bracket final. As an academy team, it ain't bad. It ain't bad at all. That could be a story. That could be even more of a story than what we've got here with this recovery from 3D Max.
Well, is it going to be fully realized here is the big question, Neo.
True.
As this is potentially the biggest round of the series so far, particularly for Apeks. Survival on the line. Oh, and it's a 3-piece coming out. It will be traded, but nearly 4, Lucky left on 11 HP. Fantastic bit of aggression from Apeks.
He said, for now, Lucky on 11 points of HP. All the onus is what that man Maka can do. I'm not offering up either. He's still sticking around. Flash come through off the back of the lurk smoke. He's in trouble. He's going to fall any second, and he will. So Maka now thrust into a 1v3. He may as well give it a go. I mean, they've got plenty of money to work with. But Cassie's going to hit all of this. Knife out. No chance. Apeks answer back. Finally, I think is the apt word here. It's been a bad run of form. What's the level of consistency looking like? We'll have to see.
Alrighty, Apeks, yeah, they will indeed have to get it rolling for another one. Early utility raining on in. The aggression, hard to replicate, man. Really hard to replicate. Deep smoke outside of A, but they are not thwarted at all. Oh my goodness. XSC's charging in, the boys behind him as well. This is absolutely wild. Perfect flash for the first frag. Are they going to be able to recover this on the Apeks side of things is the big question. Doing their best, trying to get aggressive themselves, caught up in the chaos, and they will fall flat to it. Sassanito and Kixon, do you even want to be here, right? Maybe just look for the save, but no, they are feeling themselves. They want to try and go for it. And by they, I mean just Kixon now, the only one to find a frag so far in this retake. Yeah, and he can't really stick around, so he will move to save. I think they should just be able to tape together a buy. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Surely not. No.
Wait a minute. If he gets this kill. Wait a minute. Oh, God. Oh, panic Molotov. Okay, he gets the kill as well.
The wrong way.
Goodness me, that was almost awful.
Yeah, Molly barely even goes on the bomb. He easily could have, if he got that kill, could have stuck on it, and the Molly wouldn't have ticked him. That was a little close for comfort. And that's spurred back into another Apeks buy as well. It's 3D Max 2 rounds ahead of Apeks, but only 2 rounds away from the map in the series. And they actually are going to call for a timeout just before the round starts. I don't mind this call at all. I think for 3D Max, they realize maybe a little bit, that was quite a rough kind of post-spawn scenario. I like the change in tempo coming forward from 3D Max. They just caught Apeks napping, but they can't rely on speed every single round. And I thought it was a little bit closer than it needed to be. Maybe it can shake you up a tad. I just want to make sure everyone's calm and ready to go back in towards it. This has remained a very good performance on 3D Max in terms of the response. However, job's not done just yet. For Apeks. Once again, no AWP, unfortunately, for Nork to wield, and he has really struggled to get into this game, Nork. I mean, 5 kills to his name for the Elisa Masters MVP is not what you'd expect to see, but everyone has their off days, and 3D Max, they've countered him so well.
Aggression coming in here from the Apeks boys. Trying to find an entry frag, but it seems... Oh, they are savvy to it. Maka just gets a lick in as Kixon flies back round the corner. Nothing quite coming off. Will be a move back towards the A bomb site, but A looks pretty healthy, man. This is a real solid hold, and now a real solid push. Oi, on top of each other. 1 for 1. Maybe not quite good enough for Apeks.
Ready. On that corner, Jocko. Could find a freebie. Will do. Do they clear the pillar? No, but Haji still crisp. Oh, no, dude. This is it. They've got to go for a save. Map series, point 3D max. Apeks crumbling and trembling. As the lower bracket seems to await them. 3D max have come out the gates flat. This second half has been nearly immaculate. Only dropped 1 round. What a resurgence. What a performance from 3D Max on this T side.
Yeah, really amazing to see, man. And, you know, you can perhaps begin to understand why they picked into the Anubis. Pretty confident with it, particularly this T side. You know, it really was a weak CT side. I would argue they get a little bit lucky towards the end to find the 3 in a row. If they'd managed to get to sort of 3 rounds, even that could have been workable, you know, with how well this T side has performed. But all the same, it would have been a much longer run back, much more consistency required if it had gone the way they felt.
And now it's a sigh of relief again for 3D Max at the back of a little bit of a shakier post barn a couple of rounds ago. That one is just so clean and comfortable. Once again, looking at the buy doesn't help at all for Apeks either. Double auto shotgun. My favorite gun, but maybe not the situation for it. And a FAMAS for Nork too. All the onus comes down to those 2 rifles. Kixan and Sassanito. North Macedonian dynamic duo need a miracle here to keep Apeks alive. 12-9 map series, upper bracket point on the line. This one not feeling comfy at all.
Kixon has pushed in quite deep here, though. So he's probably going to start to say, look, it's very unlikely to be direct A hit. Sense gets a creep on Exorcise as well. Down goes Haji with Kixon's T position that's completely unexpected. But yeah, the little spatterings of weaker weapons may well let them down. Jocko, that is ridiculous. Sense is quite close here. Has to land this frag. Oh, no! Looks away at the worst moment. Where do you think that Molotov came from, bro? Out of the wall? No, I'll leave him alone. It's unfortunate. The timing just did not work. Did not work at all. And now the A-bomb site falls.
In trouble. In a lot of trouble. Numbers don't favor them. Situation doesn't. Lucky. Such an important trade. Bomb planted for main. Last CT player coming from main. The thing that worries me, though, is that, of course, Mac is still alive. That would have been heard. That tag of the nade would have been heard. And Nork's a known quantity. And they're trained, and they drop it up the AWP, and Maka wins it. What a T-side from 3D Max. 4 rounds is all they get on that CT, and then they put up a brilliant display. Apeks, you know, when it comes down to it, they just got completely blown out of the water. We were worried about the Anubis pick as well, especially at the halfway point, because Apeks also liked the map. And 3D Max showing exactly why they picked into him, and that was brilliant.
Yeah, it was looking like it was going to be too much for them to handle ultimately, but not the case in the end. Really well played, really, really well played, and some fantastic rounds, some great reads. But again, just leaning in on their individuality, to be honest, you know, and really, really playing well around that. Apeks, unfortunately, you know, maybe a bit flat in places. Again, T-side looked pretty good from them, but the CT side, they just couldn't get it going. And I think that was down to the fact that, fragging just wasn't quite there. And the Anubis map at the moment feels a bit wacky in that sense. I think this Peaks advantage thing definitely affects Anubis quite a lot. Very bright map, you really do have to be on it on that CT side if you want to be holding angles,
Yeah, when it comes down to it, Apeks, we talk about the strats and the tactics and all the rest, but just simple things, fundamentals, the 50-50s, they just could not hit their shots. In that second half, whatever that kind of halftime team talk was coming forward for 3D Mac worked absolute wonders. And this puts in a really good spot, continue through the upper bracket, most importantly, but also when you look at the kind of potential matchups on the line, you've got one of Sinners or Spirit Academy waiting, because Spirit are still going to be over in Dubai tomorrow, right? They're not going to play this game. So it's one of the two. If you're 3D Max, you're kind of licking your lips a little bit thinking, this is a grand final now, surely. We've got a Sinners side who are actually pretty good. They've been putting on much better performances recently, but still are on a resurgence. They're not the Sinners of 2021, so to say. And then you've got Spirit Academy who, it's, like you said, thrown in the deep end a little bit. They're a bit of a rock in water, so to say, where this is probably the first time they played at this sort of a caliber of tournament. 3D Max are in a really good position for a grand final here. And you've got to remember as well, there's a couple of spots on the line for Pro League. So it's a very important time to be here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, big games, 3D Max setting themselves up in a very good position. Very much looking forward to getting into that and, watching them. I'm not sure that we will be on their game tomorrow. I think we'll be on the lower bracket side of things, won't we?
Probably, yeah.
Ultimately, it'll be watching them, loving it. Absolutely loving it for sure.
Exactly that. Well, that'll be it. No interview today, ladies and gents, so don't have to worry about sitting around. I think what I'd probably suggest is go and head on over towards the A stream. That Spirit Academy versus Sinners game is heading to a map number 3. It's looking pretty damn good. A big comeback from Spirit Academy, so probably worth going and checking that out. You like Donk? Go and check out Magna Jez. He's pretty damn good. He's probably the Donk regen. As a 16-year-old to say you got a regen feels weird. Trust me, go and check him out. The kid is cracked. But thank you for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. 3D Max score is going to continue for the upper bracket. You'll probably find us back here tomorrow on the B stream. We'll be probably in the lower bracket side of things. It's going to be a spicy time. Me and Scriv back at the same time as always. See you tomorrow.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
up to the stars.